Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Here's all my contact information. If you would like to order something, the new catalog goes live on May 6th. Here is all my Facebook, my social media, and my YouTube channel. Let me show you hopefully you watched the first video on how to cut a 6x6 designer series paper so you can get 4 unique cards. I cased this from Vikki, Gilliland, and also Carmichael and Jacinta. I forget her last name, but I will put it in the comments. They did it a couple years ago along with Shannon West, and I really enjoyed using this to make some cards. So today we're going to make the first 2 cards. So you cut it at 3 1/4. You cut the bottom 3 by 3 and just cut it at an angle. On the top, what you're going to do is cut off 1 inch and from each side. It leaves you with a little bit bigger in the middle. And we're going to make these 2 cards today. If you watched my other video, we went ahead and did all the cutting. So you can go for that video to see how to cut. Today I'm going to show you how to create the cards. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am using Mossy Meadow ink. I am using this new stamp set that comes out on May 6th. It's called Blooming Phrases, which I really enjoy. I have it mounted right now for Hello There. And then on the inside, Thinking of You. I got to get my Thinking of You stamp. I left it over here. So just a beautiful card. Lots of different sentiments. So if you come to my class, you get to choose what you want. So we're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2. This is Lemon Lolly. The next piece I have, and I'm just making sure, is 4 by 5 1/4, and this is Mossy Meadow. So I'm using the Floral Delight Designer Series paper. And basically what I did is I went through and looked at all the colors that go with this paper. You could use other colors, but I decided it would be nice to just use the colors that's already in the paper. So this is the first part. Now I'm going to use the smaller. You'll get 2 whites. One's for the inside, and I already have something on there. One's for the inside, and one is for the outside. I got some adhesive on there. I don't know how I did that. So we're going to use the smaller one, which is for the outside. I'm going to kind of lay these up here. So this white piece is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And I used a different piece of this designer series paper. I'm going to kind of lay it there. I'm not going to adhere it, but lay it so I get a good sense on where it's going to be. And then I'm going to come back through, ink up my Hello There. Make sure I've got it inked pretty well. Now, here's the cool thing. If you notice, Blooming Phrases has different things you can add to the tail. So I'm going to add this part to the tail. Isn't that fun? Just adds a little bit of depth. It's just fun. So now I can go ahead. I'm going to close this up for a minute. I'll stamp the inside in a minute. I'm going to go ahead. I would use a liquid glue for this because you can get the corners a little bit better. The other thing about a liquid glue is you got some wiggle room. So if you make a boo-boo, you can move it around a little bit, which I just did, see? That's why we use something that moves a little bit. And I'll tell you, this paper, I'm going to have a couple of different 6x6s out for my class. It's all gorgeous. There's just really beautiful paper here. I love the bright springy colors. How did I figure out what size I needed? I took my 3x3 and I kind of figured out, I moved it out, figured out how much I wanted in the middle, and then I gave myself a 1/4 inch around. Very easy way to do it. I did not pop it up, so I'm just checking what I did on the first card. And I'm going to adhere that down. I'm going to add one of the, I think they're called party dots, and I'll use a party dot. Last time I did a small one. Today I'll do a little bigger one. Just there, just to add a little bit of something. And if you look at this straight, another reason to do, because I got that jiggly, was crooked. That's no good. Now, on the inside, I have your basic white, and I'm going to stamp Thinking of You. Boy, I got stuff everywhere, don't I? Thinking of You. Because I don't know about you, but I need a lot of thinking of you. I'm going to do that same leaf. I just line it up at the top, and it automatically does the curve, which I really love. And then I'm going to just add some of the flowers that came with this set right at the bottom in Daffodil. So the only ink I'm using on this card is Daffodil, Delight, and Mossy Meadow. And we have this card completed. I'm going to move this all to the side and adhere this on the inside. So this is card number 1. This is the 3x3 cut on a diagonal. And it's just a really easy card design, but I think it packs a punch. Guess what I did? Have you ever done that before? That's the front of the card. So luckily I just put it on there, but I'll show you what I'm going to do on this, because I have messed that up. I always have extra at my classes, so if somebody does that. But here is a great way to fix that. Like I say, I try to make all the mistakes so you don't have to. Let me move my stuff over. I'm going to get a piece of lemon lolly. I'm going to get it 4 by 5 1/4. Just cutting it off camera there. Sorry about that. And I am just going to adhere it up here, and you never know. Could I put something on it? I could. For this purposes, I'm just going to adhere an extra piece. Makes your card a little bit thicker, but it's not going to affect you mailing it at all. And you cover up the adhesive. So if you come to my class, people are like, I can't believe I did that. Well, welcome to the club. Here we go. And now we have our card. So 2 different designer series paper from Floral Delight, but a really fun card. So I'm moving that to the side. And the next card we're going to do is this one with the 3 pieces, this top. And let me just show you. This middle piece is 1 1/4 inch, and these are 1 inch. So for this, I could put it, let me do it correctly, I could put them all, and I might do that. You know, this is really whatever you want it to be. I'm using 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And this is Pecan Pie, which is also in the Floral Delight paper. Now, this design had that pecan pie in the back. This one doesn't. But it really doesn't matter because it all goes together, which I love. Your daffodil piece is 4 by 3.5, and the white piece is 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. Took me a minute to figure that one out. Now, what am I using for this set? I'm using the Beautiful Motifs stamp set, which is also new, along with the Gallery Blooms dies to create these. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my Versamark with this neat floral design. And I'm just going to, the Versamark is just going to give you a watermark. And I'm going to put it as far over as I can. And is there a right or the wrong? I don't think so, because I've looked at this several times. It's just a bunch of bouquet of flowers. So I'm putting that there to add a little bit of interest. Then I'm going to line up my DSP. So I can either go like this, or I can keep it all the same color. Or I can do this. So I'm going to do it this way. Have them all the same. Flowers in the background. I always say go outside and then do your inside. Because if you can just take up the extra space. Once again, I would use a liquid glue. I am doing the outside here. I'm going to do the other outside, make sure I have the card correct. I kind of match it up as much as I can. And then I'm going to add this part in the middle. So that's kind of a neat look, isn't it? Just have it a little bit of white in between. I like that. Then I'm going to add that to my yellow. And I'm going to, what did I do? I did the wrong thing. I put glue there, so I'll put the yellow down first. I'm making all sorts of mistakes today. All right, now I'll put glue on here. And then I'm going to add this to the front. So that is the front almost. We're not quite done with it, but we're very close. So I'm going to take, if you come to my class, I made these as stickers. Basically, I ran them through the Big Shot with the adhesive sheet on the back. So I'll get those ready in a minute. All I have to do is peel them. You're going to get a piece of white. It's a 1/2-inch strip. When I'm cutting my white paper, if I have 1/2-inch strips, I leave them and use them for things like this. I'm going to just do Thinking of You, and then I can cut it at an angle. That's in Pecan Pie. I'm going to keep that Pecan Pie out because, yeah, oh no, I did it in the Old Olive. So actually, I'm going to keep the Pecan Pie out because I'm going to write You've Been on My Mind, which is a great Thinking of You card. And then I did the flowers this time in Old Olive. Could I have done it in Mossy Meadow? I could have. I wanted it to look a little bit lighter. So if you come to my class, I'll remind you to make sure and clean the stamp really good from the Versamark. And then add it to the bottom. Okay, we're almost done. Move this off. I will adhere this on the inside. There we go. I've got this on the outside. I'm going to cut this at an angle with my scissors. I love Stampin' Up! Snips. They are really excellent. They're sharp. I just think they're really a great pair of scissors. If you're looking into investing in scissors, I would highly recommend these. I have several pairs because I use them all the time. They're very handy. And then I will pop this up. Now, this is how I did it. I popped it up and then I slid the things underneath. So I'm going to pop it up. And then I'm going to peel off the adhesive. That sometimes is the hardest part to get it started. These are neat dies. I'm going to put that like there. Notice how I just kind of slid it under. Like I say, this is the hardest part, is to get these peeled off. Can you use your take your pick tool? Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get it quick. Oh, I can. Put that at an angle. I didn't do that as much on the first one, and I wished I had. So you can see that it's a little bit different. Could you pop one up? You could. I just thought it would be easier to have them down because I popped up the saying. So it's a personal preference on that. Another great card design. So let me show you. We've done card 1 and card 2. Let me get that out of the way. Let's see if you can see all of them at the same time. So here's my 3x3. And here's my 3 strips there. So keep watching. I'll do another video for the last 2 cards. I hope you have a great day.